You are saving time in the wrong places, and here's how to stop that. Because it's a huge problem. Let me start with a quick story of mine, and then I'll get on straight into the problem. Okay, I used to do this a lot. I used to be, for example, on social media, or I used to watch YouTube videos about self-improvement, about fitness, but I just watched them. And I was like, okay, let me watch this because that's good for me. And I wasn't particularly wrong in that, but I tried to save time, for example, with my sleep. So I was sleeping 3 hours less, and I was using that for watching content, for fitness content, for example. But in the end, it didn't help me. The problem is you're saving time in the places where you shouldn't be saving time. For example, your sleep. I've seen this a lot. People are like, oh yeah, I can survive on 5 hours of sleep. Let me tell you this. 0% of the population can survive on 5 or less hours of sleep. 0%. No one can be fine if they sleep for their entire life 5 hours of sleep. Or if you start sleeping 5 hours of sleep, it's really bad for you. You can be like, oh yeah, but I'm fine. Or oh yeah, I can do it if I drink 10 coffees. But it isn't good for you. It's bad for you. You will start to lack things. You will start to lack concentration. You will feel tired. And you will get these real deep peaks. You will have these peaks of energy maybe because you consume a lot of caffeine, but you will have these massive drops. You will feel destroyed in the night. And if you don't think this applies for you, because I've heard this a lot. People are saying, oh, but I don't count. Oh yeah, I'm that exception. Let me tell you one thing. You are no exception. You need 8 hours of sleep. 8 hours of sleep. You ain't sleeping the 8 if you're laying in bed for 8. So I want you to make sure you're around 8.5 to 9 hours in bed. So get this app. Get Sleep Cycle. It's an app that tracks your sleep, and look at the cycle. So let's say you have the amount of time you're in bed and you have the amount of time you actually sleep. Look at that. Okay, what's my average over a week, because you've done this for a week. Okay, my average is I have 10 minutes or I have 1 hour. Let's take 1 hour for example. You sleep 1 hour less than you are in bed, which is fine, by the way. It's completely fine. But let's say you're 1 hour kind of awake, because during your sleep you're not sleeping perfectly the entire time, and you want to get those 8 hours. So what you need to do is you have to sleep 9 hours to get those 8 hours. So 9 hours before you want to wake up, go to bed. Simple, right? Because that's a place where you shouldn't compromise. If you're undervaluing your sleep, you're decreasing your testosterone, you're decreasing your muscle regeneration, because when you're sleeping, your muscles are repairing themselves. You will also make less gains. All the hard work you put into training, for example, will go to waste because you're only getting half of that return because you're sleeping half the time. They don't have the time to recover, but if you sleep properly, you can work out more and you can get more gains. Of course, this also goes in hand with the protein you're consuming, so make sure to also keep that up. But this is just an example of that you shouldn't let time be spent on the wrong things. You shouldn't be afraid to spend time on sleeping, because that's the most important thing you can do, because you have to sleep a third of your day, pretty much. But you have the other two thirds to spend on different things. And I see people wasting their time with sleep, so they're destroying 3 hours of sleep because they only sleep 5. But then they don't think it's a problem to spend 1 hour on games or 1 hour on social media scrolling, not doing anything with the content. I've gone through this already in a previous video about how people are just scrolling and it's just mind masturbation. It isn't actually doing shit. So I want you to fix this now. I want you to start saving time in the places where you actually need to save it, and start using and giving time to the places that actually need it, like your sleep. So it was a really long rant about this topic, but you really need to do it. I want you to start using your time as you need to use it. So maybe do 1 hour less of looking at self-improvement content and spend that time actually applying what you learn, for example. Because that was in my previous video. I've seen these people just scrolling through it, and they learn 1,000 things, but they apply one of them, maybe one of them, Maybe not even a single one. So I want you to start applying. Maybe you watch one video, apply that concept. Then watch a second one. If you applied the previous one, apply that concept. If you do this, you're actually starting to use your time, your valuable time, more effectively. So that was what this video was about. Thank you for watching. Work hard, stay hard, and goodbye.